The New York Times.
Inside the nursing home where 17 bodies piled up. Troubled facility in western New Jersey struggled even before contagion. City dwellers weigh saying goodbye to all that. Crisis ignites a desire for open spaces and keeper rents. Official silence Abbott's outbreak in Putin's Russia. Nearly as big as California but served by only a handful of mostly decrepit Soviet-era hospitals, the remote northern Russian region of Komi is a coronavirus petri dish for the Horosling in wait for the world's largest country. Sports yearning for a comeback despite the risk. A provocateur who put the words China viruses in Trump's mouth. Young leader, fudging facts, fuels the right. Flaws hindering antibody testing. Procedure is crucial tool for reopening US deadly shooting in Canada. At least 16 people were killed, including the police officer, after a 12-hour rampage throughout Nova Scotia. The police said the gunman also died.
The Wall Street Journal.
Bill near on help for small businesses. Latest coronavirus stimulus package could include money for hospitals, testing. Virus testing hampered by disarray, shortages, backlogs. State officials and labs say competition, confusion prolong crisis. Labs bid for supplies in a fractured and exhausted marketplace. Short selling reaches new heights. Short sellers have revived their wagers against the stock market in recent weeks, taking their most aggressive positions in years. Fight over pandemic insurance intensifies. The House would likely have to reconvene to pass legislation. The government's efforts to help businesses recover from the coronavirus pandemic are triggering waves of lobbying skirmishes, and one of the biggest fights shaping up pits restaurants against the insurance industry. No lockdowns, and money falls from trees in Vegan paradise. Animal Crossing fans yearn for escape, normal life without any of the stresses. Baseball makes a pitch to start the season, but seats will remain empty. An idea to sequester players and hold games in empty ballparks sounded crazy. It might just work.
The Washington Post.
Elon added stimulus nears. Bill to boost loans for small firms includes $100 billion for hospitals, more testing. The Trump administration and congressional leaders closed on Sunday on a more than $400 billion deal to renew funding for a small business loan program that ran out of money under crushing demand, aiming to pass the agreement into law within days. As protests grow, a social media push. Fears of hunger trigger new misery and unrest among the world's poor. Beirut has more than half the people in the world hunkered down under some form of enforced confinement. Stirrings of political and social unrest are pointing to a new, potentially turbulent phase in the global effort to stem the coronavirus pandemic. US experts at WHO chronicled viruses rise. Real-time stream of data undercuts Trump claim of information withheld. Across nation, masks are the latest political cultural divide. FDA never vetted dozens of for-sale antibody tests.
Chicago Sun-Times.
It's worse than Fed said. For weeks, the Metropolitan Correctional Center appeared to be keeping the coronavirus at bay. Now, the virus seems to be spreading among inmates. For weeks, Chicago's downtown federal high-rise jail appeared to be keeping the coronavirus at bay. State's daily coronavirus death toll falls to 33. 33 die of COVID-19, pushing Illinois total of outbreak near 1,300. Illinois health officials announced another 33 deaths and 1,197 new cases of COVID-19 on Sunday, bringing the total number of cases in the state to 30,357. The post-outbreak world. What everyday life and the employment picture have in store.
Chicago Tribune.
State's care facilities hit hard. Data shows at least 286 deaths at nursing homes, nearly a quarter of the toll in Illinois. Health is pitted against economy. USC's protests as some countries set to ease restrictions. Most failed to make plans. Long before coronavirus, officials urged school districts to prepare e-learning materials in case of an emergency. You're putting your heart out there. People are turning to Gotham as a last resort during outbreak. Small group protests at state capitol. 1,197 new cases and 31 new deaths as protest breaks out.
USA Today.
We hear you, Dad. Final breaths pass on phone. Family forced to say goodbye to dying father from a distance. Our conversation with you is one I will treasure for the rest of my life. Although we were each sitting in Dallas, Raleigh, Copenhagen or Rochester, we were together. Abby Adair Reinhardt. Decimated restaurants look for lifeline. Thousands fear relief isn't nearly enough. 12 years ago, chef extraordinaire Naomi Pomeroy opened Beast, a cozy 26-seat fine dining restaurant in Portland, Oregon, where she decides the menu for 6-course dinners that rotate regularly. A chef's dream, her peers call it. Closures set off a rights debate. Balancing test applies to state lockdowns. Protests in cities and state capitals exploded around the country last week, with sign-toting and horn-blowing activists urging governors to ease stay-at-home restrictions put in place to combat the coronavirus. Cannabis use got a boost in early weeks of outbreak.
Los Angeles Times.
Virus relief deal very close. Small business loans would be replenished, while further funding would help hospitals and expand testing. Heed the lessons of 1918. When the Spanish flu hit California, 2 major cities took disparate paths. Los Angeles shut down early. San Francisco went crazy for face masks. Neither did enough. Watchdog piece of stimulus plan is still not in play. With industry soon to get aid, CARES Act oversight hits hurdles. Mexico factories keep running despite crisis. Maquiladoras in border cities flout orders to suspend work, worsening the pandemic. Mayor paints a dire state of the city. Saying LA is under attack amid outbreak, Garcetti plans major cuts and furloughs. Deadly mass shooting in Canada.